Hello, let's do Wordle for Wednesday, January 28th. Let's play. Yesterday we spun the wheel. It said to start with cabin. Ooh, we start with C today. That's it though. So common letters R, L, S, T. How much can we get out of this? I thought of clasp, but the problem is we've already used the A. I don't really want to use it again. CL, maybe CR instead of CL. Crust. Like it's the RS and T. Crest is better. I want the E. Crest. I'm going to go with that. Ooh. All right. It is CR. Probably ends in E then. I thought of crone, but there's no N. Crude. I think we're pretty close. I don't think we have to worry about traps or anything. So let's just try crude and see if that's it. Nope. Oh, okay. So it's cruel. Didn't think about you. I didn't think about the CR and then having an E fourth. That really felt like most of the words were going to have E at the end. So crude probably eliminated a gazillion words, but we're about to find out. Let's do our analysis. But first, we need to spin our wheel and see what we're going to start with tomorrow. Our massive wheel that keeps growing. All right. Daddy, suggested by Archie Studies. So all the people complaining that we keep starting with Xylo. Well, here you go. Here's a break from Xylo. It's a daddy. All right, which my daughter sometimes calls me, but most of the time does not. Not yet, anyway. All right, well, if you would like to follow along and you're brave enough, tomorrow we will be starting with Daddy. Okay, let's do our analysis. Our answer was cruel, and cabin was our starter. There were 83 words left. It suggests cruet, which of course would get us cruel right next. So that's its solve. I went with crest, which is the second best word. I don't know what cruet is. Let's look that word up. Cruet. A small container for salt, pepper, oil, or vinegar. Maybe am I pronouncing it wrong? Cruet. In church use, a small container for the wine or water to be used in the celebration of the Eucharist. All right. I don't think I've heard this word before. All right, I went with crest. It was down to crude and cruel, so I just lost to 50-50. I thought there were going to be a lot more CR something something E's, but I guess we got rid of the common letters. There was chrome, but usually chrome is spelled with an H, Chrome. Cror. What the heck? I don't think I've ever seen a word with R second and R fourth like that with the A at the end. Cror. How do you even say that? Crows, Groove, and Crier. Crier, I could see. Oh, that's interesting that Crier is not on our answer list. I wonder why. Maybe it's Crier. No, Crier would be the normal way to spell Crier. That would be why. Okay, so it's like an alternate spelling, maybe. So crude, and after crude, it was only cruel. Luckily, it popped out because that could be. It's always annoying when there's only one left and you can't think of it. Right, and it does cruet and then cruel, which is kind of interesting that it would do that. But all right, from tails, we go lever, and it could get cruel in 3. Otherwise, it's going to do something like gruel and then get cruel. Not something like it could go cruel or gruel. There are only 3 words left. You don't go moral because after moral, if that wasn't the answer, you're still down to cruel and gruel, and you can't tell the difference between them. But if you go cruel or gruel, then you'll know what the answer is immediately after if you didn't get it. All right, from steel, we go bevel, repeating that E. Place the E, and now we go model, and now we're down to, now we do cruel. We do not want to do gruel this time because there's more words like incel, which has the C in it. Kugel, that's fun. I like Kugel. All right. After steel, all right, a DU is the most common starter. It's an interesting result with the E there and then a U somewhere. You might want to worry about UER words, but it goes puree or purer. And now it goes cruet again and then cruel. All right. It's interesting. Cruel is not quite as good as cruet. Maybe because of truer. I'm not sure. Utter. Okay. Audio. With just the U, we go spurt. Spurt kind of matches the kind of word I'd guess. And then gruel is just how it happens to be the best. We can go cruel after that. All right. After audio, we're going to go stare. Another popular start. We're worried about ER words, so it's going to go riled. And now we still think it could be an ER word, but we're just going to go right into it with lover. And now we know it's not ER, so we're down to just cruel and gruel. So we could get it in 4 or 5. This is why I'm not a particular fan of the stare start if you're not willing to do fillers, if you're not playing hard mode. Trace tries to get in 2. We do not. We get creed. I don't think cruel is even in the list, unfortunately. And then we get lucky with cruel. All right. And finally, place. Ooh, we have a lot from place, the L, C, and E. It's going to go celeb or incel. Wow. I wouldn't think to guess either of those words. Then we get cruel right away from either of those. If we go cello instead, we still get cruel. So at least cello is something I'd probably guess. I guess we have to remember it's celeb and incel as options, as answers. All right. So let's see if the bot actually goes celeb or not. Check the official bot here. First, we're going to grab a screenshot. So let's do that. And we're going to save this. Okay. Read analysis. Give me a 97 skill. I like my guesses quite a bit. 53 luck. All right. So how many start with cabin? 145 so far, starting with cabin in hard mode. Crest being the most common follow-up, which is also what I did. So yeah, it just gets the really good letters. Chore, court, close, crust, chest, chose, clout, cloud, cruet. It would go cruet. just like the other bot. But crest is the 92. And then crude, I had 2 words and I picked the wrong one, so it lowers my luck score and increases my skill score, which is kind of a weird result, but it keeps doing that. That's kind of how it's programmed. It does go celeb. Interesting. All right, we have a 0.3% starting with cruel. So I do wonder if there's like a 0.1% legit people who start with cruel getting in 1 today. Cabin, is it 0.1? Right. Cruel at 6.4. I don't think we're going to have many losses today. 39.9. 80.6 already at turn 4. That's very high. 97.2 at turn 5. Greater than 99 at turn 6. Yeah. If people are losing, it's on gruel. Creel, cruet. Jewel, creek. I don't think cruet would be a typo. I think people are just guessing it. T does come before L, though. If you're not sure what CRUE word there is, and you go across the QWERTY keyboard, you're going to hit T before you hit L, and then that makes you lose, at least on this one. All right. Let's upload a screenshot of this one so we can analyze in non-hard mode. Give me a lower skill score in regular mode. It wants a filler, I suppose. After cabin, it would go slate. Great. Just filler on turn 2. We've got 269. So cabin is a word that some people start with beyond following along with me, because this is a higher number than hard mode. They're usually fairly comparable or even lower on regular. If it's only people following along my starts. All right, we've got shore at 10%, crest at 7%. So it's interesting that shore beats out crest. Cloud, close, crust, court, chose, chest, clove. We don't have people doing fillers on turn 2, even in regular mode. Why would you? All right, crude gets a 99, and then cruel. Slate, riven, ogler, cruel. Interesting. Ogler. Like someone who ogles. But wouldn't that be double G? I don't know. What's ogler? Maybe it is. Someone who stares at another person. Yeah, okay. So it is based on ogle. Maybe I thought ogle was double G, but it's not. Ogle is not double G. Okay. Cruel at 0.4%. That's somewhat typical in regular mode, although 0.3 is also possible for the cheater rate. So I don't know. I don't know how many legits we've got today. We'll see. No good way to know. 4.7% on turn 2, 35.4% on turn 3, 76.9 on turn 4, 95.5 on turn 5, and a 99.4%. I think this is the first time in a while we've had a greater than 99% on regular mode. People are using on gruel, same words, creel, cruet, ulcer, ruler. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do? And that's it for Wordle. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the middle of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.